Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nick. Welcome back to Nick's Dynasty. Got my dad back.
Peace out.
So, this video was requested a while ago. It took me a while to get around to it, but we're going to react to, remember Joyner Lucas when we listened to I'm Sorry? The song I'm Sorry?
I could remember that, yes.
Yeah. So, it's another song by him, and it's called I'm Not Racist.
I am not racist. Okay.
You ready for that?
Let's hit it.
Alright, so my daddy's a pastor of how long?
32 years.
So it'll be an interesting perspective on what he thinks of this song. Or, I mean, anybody has an opinion on anything. It's just, that's who he is. I'm his son. Let's see what we think. Let's check out the song in 3, 2, 1.
Respect, I don't have pity for you black niggas, that's the way I feel. Screaming Black Lives Matter, all the black guys rather be deadbeats to pay your bills. Yelling nigga this and nigga that. Call everybody nigga and get a nigga mad. As soon as I say nigga, then everyone react and wanna swing at me and call me racist cause I ain't black.
That's first and foremost, I personally don't use the N-word, and I know you don't either.
No, I don't use the N-word.
What do you think about people using it these days?
I've never took the time to think about it. I am not going to be pulled into that kind of attitude and lifestyle. I don't know what they mean by nigga. I'm American. I just happen to be black.
Yeah.
I don't get offended by the nigga word because, you know, if they don't call me nigga, they call me something else. Coon, cuff, colored, niggers, you know, there's all kind of names for us. Yeah. Shiftless, lazy. But that does not define who I am.
What do you think about black people using it?
Well, I think it's inappropriate for anybody to use it. But if that's their choice, you know, I am not going to get all my dandruff raised up for nothing.
And I've thought about this. I think there's 3 categories of, I'm speaking about like black people and the word. There's like, one, there's people who use it as, yo, what up, brother? That's how they use it as the term of endearment. There's a part that don't use it, like I don't use it. Then there's there's people that don't care if white people use it or not. Like, if you my brother, I'm gonna let you use the word. So either people use it, they don't want any white people to use it. There's people who don't use it at all and don't want anyone to use it, or there's like the people who don't mind if anyone else uses it. Okay. I thought about this a while ago.
And that's your choice.
Yeah, I fall in the category I don't use it at all. I don't see the point of using it. There's so many other words of terms of endearment for people to use, and whatever. But if you're gonna use it, a lot of my friends use it. And I don't really care. It's just I fall in the categories I don't use it.
And
at all.
ordinarily, I would not listen to this kind of music to begin with.
Yeah, it don't matter. Yeah.
So I wouldn't have that in my context in my social.
I mean, it's part of your social group does it.
Absolutely, we don't use that word.
Okay. Yeah, some of my peers use it. I just choose not to. It's whatever. Not as a whatever. It's like they can use it however they want to use it.
Pound that then. Talking about slavery like you was around back then. Like you was picking cotton off the fucking ground back then. Like you was on the plantation getting down back then. Alright. Look. I see a black man claiming the sun. And I don't mean just for one day and you done. I mean, you still trapped in a rut. I work my ass off and pay my taxes for what? So you can keep living on free government assistance, food stamps for your children, but you still trying to sell them for some weed and some liquor or a fucking babysitter while you party on the road cause you ain't got no fucking goals? You already late. You motherfuckers need to get your damn priorities straight. Wait. It's like you're proud to be fake, but you lazy as...
There's more people who are not on public assistance. There's less African American on public assistance than the white population. They just put it that black is on welfare, but you got a lot of Anglo white folks on public assistance as well.
Yeah. And I know someone's going to say, yeah, because the white population is larger than the African American population, but people have had this narrative of people on public assistance are lazy and they're not trying, but in fact, no, maybe that's happened. That's some people, but a lot of people are just like they're trying their hardest, but this country places are so expensive that yes, they are on these things, but it's just not enough. Like it's hard. People are trying. It's hard to get jobs out here. Yeah, the unemployment rate is going down, but there's still a severe population that aren't being served by the job market that's out there.
40 years ago, I was on food stamp. I was working. It's not that I was sitting home waiting for a check. I had 3 children on food stamp working because I needed assistance. But when I was able to do better, I got off of food stamp, and the rest is history.
Yeah, people. There might be some lazy people on, public assistance, but the vast majority of people out there are trying. No one wants to live on a mere whatever amount that is. Like, who wants to like survive on the bare minimum to get around? That's foolish. Like, there's some people that are, what's the word? Satisfied for living on there, and they're being lazy. But the vast majority do not at all want to be on those public assistance.
Let's make the record straight. You got shiftless, lazy white folks. You got shiftless, lazy black folks. It's not a black or white issue. It is a choice that people make not to try to help themselves or not to get help where they can get help at.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's fuck. You rather sell drugs and get a job and be straight, and then you turn around and complain about the poverty rate. Fuck out of my face. Can't escape problems. Tracy got a brother and his girlfriend is black. My head's in the cloud. Heard there's not enough jobs for all the men in your house.
You're a fool to think that you have one black friend and that means you're not racist. Like, you could look at your friend in the face all the time and still harbor thoughts of like, oh man, your people ain't nothing. You could be nice to people but still harbor thoughts and talk to your family saying about the whole entire race being less than human. Like, get out of here. Like, you just because you have a white friend and you're nice to a black person doesn't mean you're not racist.
All of us have preferences. I prefer my family over somebody else's family.
Yeah.
That's the natural, but what we're talking about racism is that when you are different race and you have the power and the authority to politically, financially, and socially oppress somebody else because you make the rules to oppress them.
Yeah, like racism is prejudice plus power.
Absolutely.
Like, you hate this certain type of person and you have the power to systematically put them down.
Absolutely.
Like, prejudice plus power.
Absolutely. You have the power to legislate their lives and do something about it.
Maybe we should build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. Or maybe we should send them all to the ghetto for now.
That's
I'm
not gonna work.
And I never lied, but I think there's a disconnect between your culture and mine. I worship the Einsteins, studied the Steve Jobs, but you ride Tupac's dick like he was a fucking god. Oh my god. Then that's the nigga within you. Music right in your brain and slowly start to convince you. Then you let your kids listen and then the cycle continues. Blame it all on the menu. Blame it on those drinks. Blame it on everybody except for your own race. Blame it on white privileges. Blame it on white kids and just blame it on white citizens. Aim at the vice president. Bunch of class clowns. Niggas.
Yeah. So, systematically, we've only been free for... When did we get the right to vote?
The Voting Rights Acts of the 60s,
So,
or 50s, which is not that long ago.
Black people have been in this country for years and years, back in the hundreds of years, and wasn't allowed to own anything. If you know about the racial wealth gap, the typical white family, their dollar, they have $1. The typical black family has 4 cents to their dollar in wealth, as far as if you look at the whole population of black people in this country and the whole population of white people in this country, the wealth gap is staggering. because we weren't able to own anything. We were redlined out of communities. We like were given the worst amount of education, and yeah, that adds up. Like we've only had a few years to be able to own anything and build wealth, and that's hard. Like we're trying our best. Like I have a plan, and I'm hustling. I'm educated. I'm college educated, but I have to work twice as hard.
And the cycle goes on and on and on. But we are making progress one person at a time by taking initiative, by being respectful, by having character and integrity. That's what we're going to take to keep on pressing on.
Yeah, our starting line is just back there, where other people's starting line's up here. So we have to work just as hard to be on equal footing.
Kneeling on the field, that's a flag down. How dare you try to make demands for this money? You gonna show us some respect? You gonna stand for this country, nigga? I'm not racist. I'm just prepared for this type of war. I heard Eminem's rap, but they ain't white no more. It's like you wanna be so famous. You'll do anything for attention and a little payment. I can't take you nowhere without people pointing fingers. Pants hanging off your ass. You ain't got no home training. Put your fucking pants up, nigga. Put that suit back on. Take that do-rag off. Take that coat out your mouth. Quit the pitiful stuff. And then maybe police will stop killing you fucks. You what the fuck? 2 floors. I'm not racist. But there's 2 sides to every story. I wish that I knew yours.
It's always good to talk to people. It's always good to talk to people.
I wish that I knew yours. I'm not racist. I swear.
And none of these are the rapper, by the way. These are actors.
With all disrespect, I don't really like you white motherfuckers. That's just where I'm at. Screaming all lives matter is a protest to my protest. What kind of shit is that?
That's so
And that's
true.
one war you'll never win. The power in the word nigga is a different saying. We shouldn't say it, but we do, and that's just what it is. But that don't mean that you can say it just because you got nigga friends. Keep us under. And when we use it, we know that's just how we greet each other. And when you use it, we know there's a double meaning under. And even if I wasn't picking cotton physically, that don't mean I'm not affected by the history. My grandmama was a slave. That shit gets to me, and you ain't got no motherfucking sympathy, you pussy nigga. I feel my life, trying to have faith, but I never felt alright. It's hard to elevate when this country's ran by whites, judging me by my skin color and my blackness. Trying to find a job and ain't nobody call me back yet. Now I gotta sell drugs and put food in my cabinet. You cracking about no motherfucking taxes. But I ain't making no dough. You think you know everything, but you don't. You wanna copy our slang and everything that we know. Trying to steal black culture and make it your own. Whoa. I'm tired of this systematic racism bullshit. All you do is force shit. This the shit that I'm forced with. You don't know shit about my people. That's what bothers you. You don't know about no fried chicken or no barbecue. You don't know about the 2-step or no loose change. You don't know about no 2 chains or no Kool-Aid. You don't know. President Obama, I know that's a fact.
That's so
you couldn't wait to
true.
get him out and put a cracker back. And then you gave us Donald Trump and I was paid back for that. I'm not racist. I never lied, but I noticed a disconnect between your culture and mine. Yeah, I praise Tupac like he was a fucking god. He was fighting for his life way before he fucking died. Nigga, die, nigga. And so you start to convince you, then you teach it to your children until the cycle continue. Blame it on Puerto Rico.
That's so true. Like the cycle of like the parents teaching the parents and the kids bring that on to their children that's like what's carrying this on. That it needs to start at the house, and people that you respect need to guide you the right way.
But I don't think black folks teaches their children to hate. I know there's nobody in my family who ever taught their children to hate the white folks or anybody else. I was taught in rural Carolina to treat people the way you want to be treated. Yeah. Black, white, whatever they are, you treat people the way you want to be treated, whether they respect you or not.
That's like, that's for the people we know. Like, I know that our family, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, there probably are other family out there that are blaming on the whites, but I can't confidently say that there aren't black people treating their kids to hate.
No, I don't want anybody to teach their children to hate.
Yeah, I mean, there probably are some families that do that, but we don't.
Yeah.
They're not in our...
Nobody I've met taught their children to hate.
And don't teach people to hate. Like, just stop. It's so stupid. Like, why? What's the point? What do you gain out of it? We're gonna be sharing this world until you die. So you might as well learn to love your fellow neighbor. Come on.
Blame it on OJ, blame it on everybody except for your own race. Blame it on black niggas and blame it on black citizens. Aim at the black businesses. I ain't saying I'm innocent, but I might be any day now.
There's this meme that I kind of saw. It said something about systematic racism. It was created by white people. It needs white people to help take it down. Like, we need everyone to come together to solve these problems because everyone knows there is a problem. Black people need the help from white folks, Hispanics, Latinos, Asian folks. We all need to come together to do it. We can't, black people just fighting for themselves can't work. We need help from everyone.
Yeah, what made Martin Luther King so popular is that not only was he a leader among black folks, he was a leader among white as well. You had white folks who had position and power and authority, who had a buy-in to his message. In the same way now, the Supreme Court passed all the bills for voting acts and those kinds of things. So, we only had one black on the Supreme Court at a time. Thurgood Marshall, and now Clarence Carter. Clarence, whatever his name is. So yeah, it takes not just the black folks fighting for. It's not a black issue; it's a people issue.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it's not that Black lives matter. All lives matter.
That is true that all lives matter, but in this time that we see, black people need help.
Yeah, we're being abused by police, government, the whole nine, the prison system, the whole 9 years. But all life matters.
Yeah, and if you're gonna say all lives matters, you understand that Black lives falls under the categories of all lives. So
that's all lives.
If you believe that all lives matters, then you need to support Black Lives Matter because we're fighting for a cause that are killing us. Like, you need to support us. If you're going to say all lives matter, then you believe that Black lives matter because you just said all lives matter. So help us, please.
I swear North Korea about to bomb us any day now. And now I'm ducking every time I hear a fucking play. A lot of sense, but you just can't admit it. When Eminem went against Trump, that was the illest. Because even though he's white, he let us know he's standing with us. I'm not racist, but I cry a lot. You don't know what it's like to be in a frying pot. And I know if you about to die or not. You worry about your life, so you take mine. I love you, but I fucking hate you at the same time. Each other more, but that'll take time. I'm not. Can't erase the scars with a bandage. Hoping maybe we can come to an understanding.
It's amazing that they could hug each other after saying all those things. Like, I would definitely shake a person's hands after this conversation, but a hug, man, shoot, that takes a lot of love. But it's crazy. What do you have to say about that whole thing?
Well, again, it is how people use the N-word. For me, it's never acceptable. We do it to ourselves, so if we do it to ourselves, we should refrain from doing it to ourselves so that it will be offensive, even if we do it to ourselves. If you hate something, hate it not just because white folks will use it, hate it because everybody's using it.
So therefore, like, it has so much history, like, you know what it is. Why?
If you call the black woman a B, if you call the white woman a B, you ought to hate the B word and call nobody B's.
Yeah.
So it's a systematic approach to everything you do.
I understand people are trying to take the power out of it and reclaim it for themselves, but I don't. There's no point of saying the N-word. No. Yeah,
but most of all, than the black or the white, here in America, we are Americans. We have American values, not a black value, it's not a white value. Once you're an American, you're American. You want protection from the police, or you want protection from the thugs. You want education. You want a good job. You want to live in a good neighborhood. That's not a black issue. That's not a white issue. It is an American issue that we have. The inalienable rights. We all are endowed with certain unalienable rights.
And if you're gonna call yourself Americans, you better help your fellow Americans out.
We're Americans.
Yeah. So
Even if we didn't vote for Trump or we voted for Trump, once he became president, because I'm American, he's my president. He's your president. We are American. He's an American president. If I'm American, he's my president. And what he does should reflect everybody who are Americans.
it should reflect it, but I don't think everything he's doing is not reflecting what everyone wants.
But again, remember that he only can serve 4 or 8 years. After 4 or 8 years, he's gone. So just be yourself, do the right thing now. 4 years from now, 8 years from now, you'll have somebody else.
Well, you think he was gonna go through the whole 4 years?
Yes.
Why?
I don't.
He's a fool.
I'll tell you why he's going through the 4 years. Because the stock market is up.
That he has nothing to do with that.
But that's people say because he's in the office, the stock market is up.
The president has slight bit to do with the economy.
It's a perception.
It is a perception. It's all
And
perception.
during his first year, the stock market was up the whole year.
During Barack's periods, he got everyone out of the recession and it continued to grow.
But
Jobs.
Barack didn't count. He was black.
Oh yeah,
That's in the mindset.
that's the mindset of folks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
all right, whatever.
Well, this has been good.
Like I say, I'm upset with this country, but I respect the land. I respect the people, but a lot of the people in here are freaking fools and are making people's lives miserable.
Well, you make sure that you live a life, culture that you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Whether people are foolish or not, you don't become foolish like them.
I won't.
Peace out.
All right, y'all. This was a reaction to this music video of I'm Not Racist by Joyner Lucas. Long overdue, but we got it out now. Be respectful in the comments. I know some people aren't going to be respectful in the comments, but you know what it is. Your boy Nick. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.